Good morning, parade goers. This is Cindy with PAC-B TV, and I'm down here in front of the public library. We're getting ready for the parade to start at 9 o'clock. And with me, I have Tony Emmy, who is the Grand Marshal of this year's parade. Thank you for coming and spending some time there, a couple minutes.
Oh, thank you.
Now, that's quite an honor. That's quite an honor. Now, how did this come about for you, Tony?
Well, a friend of mine, Brian May, had asked the Baldwinsville Memorial Day Committee to ask me to do it, and so that's how it came about.
Well, here you are. Now you're involved with the Emmy Farms, is that correct?
Yes.
I know. I remember
family,
they had that's where they put when they were doing the water chestnuts, they put it up on your land. We did an interview there about the water chestnuts. But anyways, I want to congratulate you on being the Grand Marshal. That's quite an honor.
Thank you.
You know, this parade is just a wonderful thing in our community. I just love parades. I do. So, what is it now? You were involved in the military? Is that correct?
Yes, I was in the Army for a little over 10 years. I went to the military academy at West Point, and then I served a little over 7 years in the regular Army.
Well, you were very busy. Well, and I want to thank you very much for your service. I certainly do appreciate it. But I know things are starting to get rolling here, Tony.
Mm-hmm.
But again, congratulations. That's a beautiful award. Thank you for participating. Thank you for being so involved in our community. And have a great, don't forget to wave when you go by us. Okay, we'll get pictures, all right?
All right, yeah.
And I'll send them. I'll forward to you.
Okay.
All right, everybody, enjoy the parade. Good morning, everybody. This is Cindy at the parade day. I'm from PAC-B TV. We're getting ready for our annual Memorial Day parade, which is on the day, and the crowds are building up, and we're ready to get started. I love parades. I'm like a little kid. But this morning I have with me Major Dan Walker, and he is the president of this year's parade. You have rather a storied past. It's incredible. West Point. Tell me a little about yourself.
Well, first and foremost, I am a Baldwinsville native. I grew up here, graduated from Baker in 2006. I did a commission out of West Point. Been with the 10th Mountain Division a few tours now, back stationed at Fort Drum as the Division Chief Data Officer, and just really happy to be here. Well,
I think it's great, and what an honor. What an honor. It's so exciting to see people coming out in that patriotic mode, because it's such a wonderful thing. And this year we have the 250th celebration of our country, which is another terrific thing. So you are stationed up near Fort Drum, is that right now? I mean, that's where you are?
That's correct.
Okay, so you came back just for us.
I did.
I'm just delighted.
Came back home.
Isn't it great?
Isn't
it great?
It's a real privilege.
I know last year a gentleman that I graduated with from high school, Jay Edsett, who was in the Air Force. He was a retired lieutenant colonel or something. And it's so good to see people that I knew and people from Beeville that have done so well in the military in support of their country. And this is a wonderful thing. Thank you very much for your support and your service, and enjoy the parade, and don't forget to wave. We'll be over there. Make sure you wave, okay?
Yes,
all right, thank you, Major.
Morning, everyone. Nope. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. I know you're louder than that. What we will have when the commander raises the flag, gives a salute. I will then like you to do the Pledge of Allegiance as loud as you can, so all the way across the bridge, all the way back up to everybody lined up can hear. Are we ready for that?
Yes!
We will begin with Call the Colors and the raising of the flag. Commander, post the colors. Group, attend, cut, present, halt. Order, halt. Mr. England will rise and join us in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance. Commander, lay the reed. Forward. Order, halt. Color guard, stand at ease. Thank you. Thank you. I think everybody heard that nice and loud. Give yourself a round of applause. You guys ready to march now? Ready to march now? All right, you guys.
It should be in the top pocket.
Left, right. Left, left.
the American Legion Post 113, just going by here, along with Chief Lockwood from the Baldwin Police Department.
Okay, after a false start here, we're ready to roll again. Here comes the towpath, Volunteer Fife and Drum Corps. They're out of Macedon, New York. And they're almost at their 50th anniversary. They're one of the largest fife and drum corps in the country, they tell us. Up there. I think they fired off a musket.
That's a young guy.
They've got all ages in it, that's for sure.
It's so good to see.
Slow start here with the parade. We started off earlier the traditional ceremony at the Veterans Monument at the post office. They did the call to colors. That was David Malecki on the bugle. They raising of the colors, which is the flag. And then the Pledge of Allegiance by the Baldwinsville Girls and Boy Scouts, Trail Life USA, and American Heritage Girls. They're also a scouting group. The American Legion did the placement of the wreath on the monument. They had the salute and taps, again by David Malecki. Now, here comes the Grand Marshal.
This is Tony Emmy, the Grand Marshal of this year's parade. They are local business people. They sell produce and fruits and vegetables, whatever, but very supportive of our community. And we did a little interview with him earlier. He's a West Point grad, veteran.
He is driven by John Hudson of Baldwinsville.
This is the Baldwinsville Knights of Columbus. Good to see everybody here. Everybody all patriotic.
Led by the flag bearer, Mike Cassio. This should be the president of the day, and he's a guest speaker. This is Major Daniel Walker, and he's driven by Sandy Baker. And there's zippy little Audi convertible. There's Mayor Bruce Stebbins.
The one and only.
Looks like the weather's going to hold off.
I tell you, it's very chilly though.
Here comes a couple village trustees, Megan O'Donnell and Nate Collins. Nate looks a little chilly. They'll get warmed up. They got a long walk.
Hey guys. Hey, how are you?
Hi, PAC-B.
What's up, guys? Hey, how's school?
And this says Baldwinsville trustees. Who's in there? Ruth Seco. And here's representatives from Meals on Wheels. There's Donna. Oh, this is nice. Look at the giant eagle. Who is this?
Is this Canton Woods?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, this is Canton Woods. Nice.
There's Renee. Nice truck.
I know, very nice.
And there's our student speakers for the day.
We have Rowan Reingold and Ava Johnstone and Vanessa Tatum.
Here comes New York Penn Easy Company Military Vehicles. It's a collectors club. And they're going to have, I guess, vehicles interspersed throughout the parade. Siren works. Honored veterans. Is that Don Coa?
He's the dance commander of the American Legion.
Oh, nice. This is the town of Van Buren. They've got a great float this year.
Oh, this is fabulous. The first time I've seen the candy. They got a nice float here. Very patriotic.
Remember and honor. And there's some town council people.
And then we have the town of Lysander represented.
There's Kevin Rode, the supervisor.
How you doing?
Ed Schmidt.
Vince Magan.
Vince Megan. Oh, nice. Are you a veteran in need of assistance? Contact
that's Harvey
Baldwinsville
Sellers. And
Veteran Outreach Coordinator, Harvey Sellers. Oh, little tiny baby. That's got to be the youngest marcher in the parade.
Right. Start them young. I think we've got some music coming up next with the Baldwinsville High School Marching Band.
That would be my favorite part of a
That's
parade.
it. I love the bands.
Got a little gap here. They better get up here. We're going to start singing, and nobody wants that.
No, that would not be good. I'm surprised at the amount of people, because a lot of people didn't want to get up this morning for a 9 o'clock parade.
Well, I want to tell you, it is 52 degrees, and it's a little breezy.
It is.
We don't call it wind chill anymore. We call it feels like,
like it, though.
and it feels like cold.
I almost wore my gloves, but I said, nah, almost June, can't do it.
Hey, here comes the band. Sounding sharp, looking sharp. Mr. Magdarelli. Hi, Bill. Here comes a car with a lot of bubbles.
Now this is the Baldwinsville
Betsy
car
Baldwin.
coming up here.
This one, Daughters of the American Revolution.
This was founded in Beeville in 1973, named for Betsy Baldwin. She was an early Baldwin community leader.
My mother-in-law was a proud member of the DAR. You have to do your genealogy and prove that you are related to an American revolutionary person.
Okay. This is our legislator. First district. Nope, not first district. This is Ken Bush for the 15th district. And we have Kevin Meeker, another county legislator. Second district. We just had Ken Bush go by, and he is from the 13th district county legislator. Kevin Meeker, another county legislator from the 2nd district. And now we have the Baldwinsville Northwest Fire District, all dressed up in their finery. Well, they've got a lot of vehicles here today. Oh, there they go with the horns. I was waiting for that. Yeah. That one looks brand new. Very impressive. I don't know which type of trucks these are. Engine 2 line, or I don't know what that means. Okay. And then we've got engine 41.
Oh, they got the whole fleet on.
They do. Very impressive.
Another engine. Engine 11. This is a RP, rescue pumper.
Oh, the RP, that's the
Rescue pumper.
rescue pumper. And then we have the Baldwinsville Rotary, which is a network of volunteers and leaders that are dedicated to creating positive, lasting change through service, fellowship, integrity, and goodwill. And these are our locals. And they're pushing the annual Seneca River Days, which are in Baldwinsville on Paper Mill Island, June 12th and 13th.
The Rotary also has a backpack program that feeds school district kids over the weekend in backpacks with stuff easy to make for young kids, for any kids in the district that have any kind of food insecurity. It's a great program the Rotary does.
Well, this truck is all decorated.
And there's a Rotary duck for the duck races.
There's the way to travel.
Here come some brownies joining in. And some Girl Scouts behind them.
Girl Scout troop. You know 129?
Lots of flags, lots of whirligigs.
I'll be handing them out.
Oh, thank you so much. Little whirligig from a little Girl Scout. We've got some Boy Scouts coming up here pretty quickly.
On another note, we have the volunteers for the Baldwinsville Volunteer Center. The volunteers of the year were Stephanie and Carl Pelcher, who are sadly unable to attend due to previous travel arrangements. But they have been heavily involved as a couple in the community, and they were involved in the planning board, anything involved with the school. They were both involved, heavily involved here. And the Christmas Bureau, they are, like I say, they're unable to attend this one, but they were the 2025 Baldwinsville Volunteer Center Volunteer of the Year for both of them as a couple. Not sure what the holdup is here. We're waiting on, what do we have coming next? The Boy Scouts troop. Here they come.
Cub Scouts first. Cub Scouts PAC-71 out of Baldwinsville. Nice little float they have, lots of flags. And then we've got some Boy Scouts marching. Look at those girls in the Boy Scouts. I love it. And then Troop 80. Some girls in Troop 80. Loving that. We've got lots of Boy Scout troops in Baldwinsville. Here comes Troop 114.
I'm going to walk the whole parade route back. Because we have a soccer game at 10:30.
Oh, and then a doctor's appointment. Oh my God.
And then a party.
Literally, that was thrown on the floor.
Oh, and then is this Miss Military Star?
Crystal Ball is the organizer of this.
Nice float. Miss Excelsior, Miss Junior High this, I bet they're very chilly.
I know the twirlettes. They come, I think, every year.
Yes, they do. Look at them, how
Very
cute.
good too, in their patriotic outfits. The little
Come on, twirl, girls.
those batons.
Here comes Mr. Mike Mazaway in his 1951 Plymouth Cambridge. Boy, he keeps that immaculate.
He does it beautiful. He's very proud of it. And he's got it decorated to his flag.
He just had some knee surgery. Nice that he hobbled out here for the parade.
Wow, and
What a
glad he
trooper.
did. What is this up and coming? Bones
Oh,
Sharks?
I see some sharks on top of that Bronco. So
right,
this
there
must
must
be.
be.
We could have been detectives.
I know, we should have been. Sherlock Holmes.
Red, white, and blue sharks. I like that. This is a competitive swim club. I guess there's swim clubs around the state that they compete with. And it's all ages and all levels of excellence. Everybody's welcome. This is Ray Middle School, I believe, the 7th grade float, and it's honoring Kyle Schneider.
It was built by the 7th grade students.
With their,
Yeah, they're under the auspices of Matt Brennan.
oh, I love this. It's a Baldwinsville girls run club from Eldon. And you get some exercise, it instills confidence, and they have a lot of fun. It's for 3rd to 5th grade girls. Here's our local neighbors, Belgium Cold Springs Fire District. Their Engine 21. Oh boy, big contingency from Beeville Pop Warner.
The football and cheerleading. They're all decked out in the red, white, and blue.
Also some pretty zippy uniforms.
No, they are.
They didn't have uniforms like this when we were in school.
An old ripped up t-shirt.
Very nice. It's quite a big program.
No, there's a number of them.
There's McGuire Chevrolet. And they have an honored veteran they're driving. David Detler.
Yes, he was.
He's 100 years old.
100 years old. He was a Grand Marshal 2 years ago. And I think Gary Hardenberg is driving. He's a Vietnam vet.
Very nice. Here's the Beeville Wrestling Club.
Look at the four-legged
Whoa,
wrestler.
look at the bling this guy's got. He's got a lot of
I
gold.
know it. He must have won a lot of awards.
They're having a fundraiser June 2nd at Sales Pizzeria, and a portion of the proceeds of the dinner, the sales that night, they will go to their facility fund. Another neighbor, Plainville Fire District. Their Engine 3.
I didn't realize that was established in 1923.
I think Beeville had their truck from 1923, that first year.
They do. There's another RP rescue company.
Seneca River Fire District.
Then we have Desimone's Martial Arts Studio. That's good exercise.
Probably next to the marching band, this is my favorite band, parade band, the Island Band. They are awesome. Very tropically dressed, and they're accomplished musicians. I really like to listen to them.
They really, really enjoy themselves.
From the Baldwinsville athletes. Giant bee.
Go bees. Barber shops. And look how
You're welcome.
Little patriotic banner.
yeah, it's very nice.
They're handing out bees.
Wow.
Here's another one. How's it going, guys?
Now we have the Plainville Christian Church and their float. Very nice.
Nice old truck. I like that.
Is very nice.
See the bakers up there.
That's right. Kathy and Kevin Baker, and I'm sure I see there's other familiar faces. And we have the four-legged ones too. Dog training. They were all in their patriotic truck.
Just about to the end of this parade.
Look at this truck. They've got their flag. This is what is it? This is ticketing. Followed by Big Red Towing. I hope nobody needs them today.
Maybe that's why they're there. The float breaks down, Big Red is there.
That's right.
Comes the ambulance corps vehicles, one of their SUVs, and then one of their ambulance rigs. Greater Baldwinsville Ambulance Corps.
Our parents were the founding members.
They were life members, not quite founding, but they were life members.
They were lifetime. I misspoke, sorry.
Dad was president. Mom was president once. She was secretary for several go-arounds. Volunteered for there for many years. And I think we're about done here.
I think that's the end of it. Everybody have a happy Memorial Day.
Keep warm.
commend this wreath to the water. This wreath is a symbol of eternity and life everlasting. Thus do we say the deeds of our soldiers, sailors, and airmen and Marines on the sea are immortalized in the heart of a grateful people. That's all.
If everybody could please take their seats and silence their phones. Morning, everyone. Commander, will you please raise the colors? Present arm. Oh. Order. Arms. We are honored to raise the memorial flag in honor of Corporal Kyle Snyder, United States Marine. Chaplain Meaner.
Please remove your headgear. Father of all of us, in the depth of our silent reverence, we realize the truth of the inspired words. I am the resurrection and the life. He that believeth in me, though he were dead, yet shall he live. As comrade after comrade departs, we march on with our ranks growing thinner. Help us to be faithful unto thee and to one another. Look in mercy on the widows and children of our departed comrades. We beseech thee in thine own tenderness, console and comfort those who are bereaved. We ask thee to grant thy blessing upon all who gather here today to remember the sacrifices of our gallant Americans. Heavenly Father, through thy favor, may we meet at last before thy throne in heaven. We praise thy great name forever. Amen.
Amen.
Recover.
Please join in the Pledge of Allegiance in the singing of our national anthem. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Present. Honor. Order. Honor. May be seated. The Honorable Bruce Stebbins, Mayor of Baldwinsville, will give the welcoming address. Mayor. Thank you. Good morning. I want to take this moment to welcome all of you who are here with us today from near and far, and to the dignitaries and officials and their families who are on the dais behind me. I'd also like to acknowledge the veterans that are with us today as we honor those who gave their lives so we would be able to be here today and free to have our own opinions and ideas and express them within this country. As everyone knows, Memorial Day is a very solemn and special holiday. It's not necessarily one for backyard barbecues and fireworks. It's one where we remember and honor those who gave their lives, men and women. Something I always like to think back on, I've looked at Memorial Day, and it used to be called Decoration Day, where people would go and decorate the graves of soldiers who lost their lives. And shortly after the Civil War, in a cemetery in the South, a group of women and members of families of Union soldiers went to decorate graves of Union soldiers who were buried there, and noticed that there were Confederate soldiers buried there also, and no one was doing anything to decorate their graves. And they decided to decorate those graves also as fellow Americans. I think the lesson that those individuals shared was, though we may have disagreements, what makes America strong is when we are unified, respect each other, and express kindness to each other. And to me, that's part of what Memorial Day is. That's what those individuals who sacrificed their lives were fighting for. Welcome again, and please enjoy the ceremony. Thank you, Mayor. Please join me in welcoming our distinguished guests. Our 2026 President of the Day and guest speaker, Major Dan Walker. Our Memorial Day Parade Grand Marshal, Tony Emmy. And I apologize if some aren't here, some are. New York State Assembly, 129th District, William Magnarelli. 126, New York State Assembly District, John Lamons. Onondaga County Legislator, 1st District, Brian May, who's always in the corner over there, never on the deck. Onondaga County Legislator, 2nd District, Kevin Meeker. Onondaga County Legislature, 13th District, Ken Bush. Village of Baldwinsville Mayor, Bruce Stebbins. Village of Baldwinsville Trustees, Ruth Seco, Megan O'Donnell, Mike Shepard, Nate Collins, and Village of Baldwinsville Police Chief Mike Lockwood. Village of Baldwinsville Police Lieutenant Jason Gunn. Town of Lysander Supervisor Kevin Rode. Town of Lysander Town Councilors Ed Schmidt, Vincent Magan. Town of Van Buren Supervisor Wendy Vanderwater. Town of Van Buren Deputy Supervisor Jennifer Sullivan. Town of Van Buren Town Councilors Michael Burke, Roger Han, Chris Sherwood, Robert Glover, and Charity Gusky. Veterans Outreach Coordinator Harvey Sellers Jr. American Legion Post Commander 113 Mac McCarthy. Our C.W. Baker student speakers Rowan Reinigal, Ava Johnson, and Vanessa Tatum. Our piper is Shannon Kennedy. Trumpeter Dave Malecki, and the American Legion Post 113 firing detail. Each year, 3 leaves are laid at the base of the flag, the honor roll, and the Gar Monument. These simple acts symbolize the community's commitment to honor, remember, and never forget those who gave their lives in the service to our country. Following each wreath placement, one of the 11th grade students chosen from Baker High School will recite the famous words from history. These students were selected based on the level of engagement in the U.S. history class, their interest in current events, and on the qualities that make them good role models. The works they read will represent solemn tone of the ceremony and occasion while providing a message of remembrance for those who made the ultimate sacrifice. Each work also marks a particular period of our war history. Abraham Lincoln's Gettysburg Address, General John Logan's Orders for the Civil War, and the poem by John McCrae in Flanders Field for World War I. Now will the Village of Baldwinsville, Mayor Stebbins will place the wreath at the flag, Commander. Rowan, you have your speech. And salute.
Logan's Orders by Commander-in-Chief John A. Logan, May 5, 1868. General Order Number 11. 1. The 30th day of May, 1868, is designated for the purpose of strewing with flowers or otherwise decorating the graves of comrades who died in defense of their country during the late rebellion, and whose bodies now lie in almost every city, village, and hamlet churchyard in the land. In this observance, no former ceremony is prescribed, but posts and comrades will in their own way arrange such fitting services and testimonials of respect as circumstances may permit. We are organized, comrades, as our regulations tell us, for the purpose, among other things, of preserving and strengthening those kind and fraternal feelings which have bound together the soldiers, sailors, and marines who united to suppress the late rebellion. What can aid more to assure this result than by cherishing tenderly the memory of our heroic dead, who made their breasts a barricade between our country and its foes? Their soldier lives were the reveille of freedom to erase in chains, and their death a tattoo of rebellious tyranny in arms. We should guard their graves with sacred vigilance. All that the consecrated wealth and taste of the nation can add to their adornment and security is but a fitting tribute to the memory of her slain defenders. Let no wanton foot tread rudely on such hallowed grounds. Let pleasant paths invite the coming and going of reverent visitors and fond mourners. Let no vandalism of avarice or neglect, no ravages of time, testify to the present or to the coming generations that we have forgotten, as a people, the cost of free and undivided republic. If other eyes grow dull and other hands slack, and other hearts cold in the solemn trust, ours shall keep it well as long as the light and warmth of life remains in us. Let us then, at the time appointed, gather around their sacred remains and garland the passionless mounds above them with choicest flowers of springtime. Let us raise above them the dear old flag they saved from dishonor. Let us, in this solemn presence, renew our pledges to aid and assist those whom they left among us as sacred charges upon the nation's gratitude, the soldiers and sailors, widow and orphan. 2. It is the purpose of the Commander-in-Chief to inaugurate this observance with the hope it will be kept up from year to year while a survivor of the war remains to honor the memory of his departed comrades. He earnestly desires the public press to call attention to this order and lend its friendly aid in bringing it to the notice of comrades in all parts of the country in time for simultaneous compliance therewith. 3. Department commanders will use every effort to make this order effective. By command of John A. Logan, Commander-in-Chief.
Thank you, Roland. The President of the day, Major Dan Walker, will place the wreath at the honor roll. Commander? Ava?
This is the Gettysburg Address by Abraham Lincoln. fourscore and 7 years ago, our fathers brought forth on this continent a new nation, conceived in liberty and dedicated to the proposition that all men are created equal. Now we are engaged in a great civil war, testing whether that nation or any nation so conceived and so dedicated can long endure. We are met on a great battlefield of that war. We have come to dedicate a portion of that field as a final resting place for those who here gave their lives that that nation might live. It is altogether fitting and proper that we should do this. But in a larger sense, we cannot dedicate, we cannot consecrate, we cannot hallow this ground. The brave men, living and dead, who struggled here, have consecrated it, far above our poor power to add or detract. The world will little note, nor long remember what we say here, but it can never forget what they did here. It is for us, the living, rather, to be dedicated here to the unfinished work which they who fought here have thus far so nobly advanced. It is rather for us to be here dedicated to the great task remaining before us, that from these honored dead we take increased devotion to that cause for which they gave the last measure of devotion. That we here highly resolve that these dead shall not have died in vain, that this nation, under God, shall have a new birth of freedom, and that the government of the people, by the people, for the people, shall not perish from the earth.
Thank you, Ava. Grand Marshal Tony Emmy will place the wreath at the Gar Monument. Commander? Vanessa.
In Flanders Fields by John McCrae. In Flanders fields the poppies blow, between the crosses, row on row, that mark our place, and in the sky the larks still bravely singing fly, scarce heard amid the guns below. We are the dead, short days ago. We lived, felt dawn, saw sunset glow, loved and were loved, and now we lie in Flanders fields. Take up our quarrel with the flow, to you from failing hands we throw. The torch be yours to hold up high, if ye break faith with us who die. We shall not sleep, though poppies blow in Flanders fields.
Thank you, Vanessa. We will now hear the Armed Forces Salute performed by the members of the Baldwinsville Community Band. Please stand when the music of your branch of the Armed Forces is played and sound off. The Baldwinsville Memorial Day Committee is honored to introduce Tony Emmy as the Grand Marshal for the 2026 Memorial Day Parade. Brian? Hang on, we have somebody that wants to say something.
You next? Okay.
Yeah. So, Good morning. Good morning. All right. This is an honor. You know, my family and I moved to Beeville 23 years ago. First time I've had a chance to speak. Obviously, I've been in public service for a while. It's, again, really an honor to be speaking to you all today. Before I get into the specific bio, I just had a couple of words of my own. First being that we all think back to when we were kids, you know, the oldest brother and the oldest sister were always the coolest ones. And if you hung around with the younger brothers and sisters and looked up at the older brothers and sisters, you thought, oh man, they're pretty cool, right? Certainly that was the case for Tony Emmy. He was kind of a trendsetter, a few years older than us. We always looked up at him. There was a lot of mystique and awe and, you know, hero worship in many ways. You know, he was a great athlete, great student, always dated the pretty girls, married the prettiest one, Sandy, though, okay? Just to be clear. You know, fast forward to all his accomplishments, which I'll talk about in a minute. I think for me, one of my best personal accomplishments in life, you know, again, I was great friends with his younger brothers early on in high school, and quickly over time, Tony was added to that list, and I'm, you know, really proud to call him a brother of my own today, along with the rest of his siblings. So, again, it's a real honor to even be speaking here today on this matter. So, quickly, Tony graduated from Liverpool High School in 1981. He attended the U.S. Military Academy at West Point, graduating with a Bachelor's of Science degree and commissioned as a second lieutenant in 1985. He was assigned as an armor officer in Mannheim, Germany in the 8th Infantry Division, 3rd Squadron, 7th Cavalry, where he served as a scout platoon leader and then troop executive officer from 1985 to 1988. Following armor officer's advanced training, Tony was then stationed at Fort Bragg, where he served in the 82nd Airborne Division, 3rd Battalion Airborne, 73rd Armor. He served out of Fort Bragg from 1989 to 1992, holding positions of S3, Operations Officer, Battalion Maintenance Officer, Company Commander B, Company during Operations Desert Storm, where he was initially deployed to Saudi Arabia, then inside Iraq when Iraq invaded Kuwait. In 1992, Tony was honorably discharged and married to his wife, Sandy. Returning to this area, he became general manager of the family farm, Emmy & Sons, a local, well-known fruit and vegetable farm. In 1994, the farm began its relocation into Baldwinsville. Since then, he has committed his life to farming, noting that it's his primary hobby. He continues to give back to the agricultural community, where he is the chair of the Central New York Regional Market Authority, a member of both the New York State Fruit and Vegetable Growers and the New York State Farm Bureau, a member of and former director of the New York State Berry Growers Association, and is ongoingly active in New York State farming. Tony and Sandy live in Baldwinsville and have 2 adult children, Ben and Carol Lee. In his rare spare time, he enjoys bow hunting and traveling. Start a round of applause for Tony, who will approach the podium now and say a few words. And before I step away, how does this big guy jump out of an airplane? I'll never understand that. All right.
Keep that. Thanks, Brian. Thank you, Brian. Appreciate that. There's probably a few lies in there, but good morning, everybody, and thank you for being here. I want to thank the Baldwinsville Memorial Day Committee for inviting my wife and I, Sandy, to this beautiful ceremony. I'm a veteran of the First Gulf War. Any stories that I may have are not important. I was fortunate to make it back home. This day is for those who have died in our nation's wars and conflicts. Recently, a friend of mine from the Army sent me a quote he'd found, and it read, "We do not know all of them, but we owe all of them." For those who lost their lives in action while in service, and in my opinion, for those who made it home but sadly ended their own lives, Memorial Day is to honor them. From our Revolutionary War to our present conflicts, our fallen veterans fought to create a new nation. They fought to preserve our country when it faltered. They fought overseas to stop the atrocities and destruction. They have fought to stem the tide of violent groups and ideologies that, if unchecked, would have our freedoms and the freedoms of other nations destroyed. We owe all of the fallen a few moments of our time to remember the freedom we have that comes at a great price. Thank you.
Thank you, Tony, for your service to our country and the community and your participation in the Greater Baldwinsville Memorial Day observance. You can present that to him. In the spirit of those serving in the military, the Baldwinsville Memorial Day Parade Committee is honored to introduce Major Daniel Walker as the president of the day for the 2026 Memorial Day Parade. Daniel grew up in Baldwinsville, graduating from C.W. Baker High School in 2006. He attended the United States Military Academy at West Point, graduating with a bachelor's degree and commissioned as second lieutenant in the U.S. Army in 2010. Since then, Major Walker has served with the 10th Mountain Division, 1st Brigade, 25th Infantry, and the Northern Warfare Training Center. He has deployed 3 times with the 10th Mountain Division to Afghanistan, Europe, and the U.S. southern border. Major Walker currently serves as the Chief Data and Analytics Officer for the 10th Mountain Division at Fort Drum. He resides in Fort Drum area with his wife, Octavia. Major Walker.
"158 years ago today, a group of volunteers spent their 30th of May enacting General John Logan's General Order 11. They came together in Arlington National Cemetery to honor the fallen by decorating the graves of those who died, reuniting our country after the Civil War. Memorial Day began in 1868 as Decoration Day, with Logan's order to decorate the graves of the fallen soldiers with flowers on the 30th of May. For over a century, the nation observed this duty on that date. But in 1968, Congress passed a law moving the holiday to the last Monday in May. For much of the country, a day of remembrance transformed into the unofficial start of summer, and the somber significance of the day was slowly lost to the excitement of barbecues and retail discounts. But not in Beeville. When I was asked to speak today, I wanted to make sure I understood the history and significance of this day. I did some research, and what I found made me proud of our village. Baldwinsville is among only a handful of American towns that still observe Memorial Day on the anniversary of Decoration Day, the 30th of May. We have preserved the original tradition. When Decoration Day began after the Civil War, roughly 1 out of every 10 American families lost a member in the conflict. The experience of loss was shared by nearly every family and every town. They grieved as a community. Over the next century and a half, the loss was carried by one of hundreds, then one of thousands, then one of tens of thousands of families. Through World War I, World War II, Korea, Vietnam, the Gulf War, and the global war on terrorism, our communities and families are increasingly spared the pain of loss. And that is a good thing. Except if you are the family, friends, and loved ones of those who did not come home. Except if your family is the one in 20,000 who has lost a service member over the last 25 years of conflict. The loss that was once an experience shared by the community has become a solitary burden in a society where very few can relate to what they've gone through. This year marks the 18th year since my classmate, Marine Corporal Kyle Schneider, decided to enlist in the U.S. Marine Corps. I didn't know Kyle well, and I don't know why he chose to serve. His choice led to his deployment to Afghanistan in 2011, where he was killed in action. He was 23. When we remember Kyle and all the men and women from our community who never returned home, we must recognize the dual nature of their heroism. Their choice and sacrifice ensured our nation's unity, peace, our prosperity. But that same choice left their families to carry a terrible burden that few others understand. It is easy to look the other way, to focus on the barbecues and the sales, when the pain of sacrifice is concentrated in so few. But we are here today because we refuse to let the families of the lost carry the weight alone. We cannot honor their sacrifice by dwelling on the tragedy of their loss. Instead, the best way to pay our debt to our fallen heroes is by how we choose to live today. We honor them by recognizing those families who carry the weight every day and making sure they know their community stands with them. We honor them by using the peace they died for to build a future that is worthy of their sacrifice. We honor them by choosing unity over division. I am proud of our village's choice to preserve the 30th of May as a day of remembrance, keeping faith with the volunteers who began this tradition 158 years ago. Thank you for choosing to spend this morning standing together to remember our fallen. May we live lives worthy of their sacrifice.
Thank you, Major Walker. And thank you for your continued service to our country. We're proud to claim you as Baldwinsville native. We will be reading the names of the honor wall. Please join us in placing a flower at the honor roll monument as the names are being read. Anyone participate, members of the deck, I would ask that you would please also participate. We are here highly resolved that these honored dead shall not have died in vain. Philippine insurrection, Thomas Comerford. World War I, James M. Barnes. James E. Bettinger, Guy Calkins. Harold H. Cole. Eddie Gruesbeck, Lawrence R. McCarthy, Dominic Pantillo, Howard E. Rawlings, John E. Reynolds, Albert Glenn Richardson, Harry Richford, Alexander St. Dennis, Vernice A. Suttle.
World War II, Mason W. Atwood, Ray H. Beals, Charles E. Brammer, Oscar J. Brown III, Francis A. Cole, Donald B. Coolidge, Lloyd D. Davis, Raymond E. Dennison, John J. DeCirio, Richard Glass, Delbert C. Haley, Charles W. Hobbs, Otis M. Engelson, Ronald H. Isaac, Derwin A. Kilcott, Bernard C. Lamson, Mark R. Mills, Benjamin B. Odell, Robert E. Payne, Donald N. Pickard, Clayton C. Redout, Grant C. Schaff, Jr.
World War II continued. Carlton Smith, Francis I. Smorrell, Charles G. Summers, Samuel Spoto Jr., Milton D. Stafford Jr., Harold M. Stearns, Korean War, Walter H. Freeman. Vietnam War, Robert Catherman, Carl Perry, Lucius Gwynn, Gary Schuler, Bernard Johnson, James Seawright, William Kranz, Carl Tortello, Douglas Page, Thomas R. Walsh, Afghanistan and the War on Terrorism, Kyle R. Schneider. Chaplain Meaner.
Please remove your headgear. Please join me in a closing prayer. Heavenly Father, bless our country with freedom, peace, and righteousness. We thank you for this blessed and bountiful land. Help us renew our loyalty to this great country. Amen. Recover.
Present. Horn. Order! Halt! May be seated. This concludes our Memorial Day observance. Thank you for attending. I would like to take this opportunity to thank the Memorial Day Committee. They're scattered around here. Marcia, Linda, TR, Jason. It's not a one-day thing that gets put together. It takes dedication. And we will hold true, as Major Walker said, to the 30th. Two things I ask. That when your neighbor asks why we do today, oh, it's not convenient, the 3-day holiday. Enjoy your 3-day holiday with your family, but we'll hold true to tradition to know what this day stands for. It's not an inconvenience. Go look a Gold Star mother or father in the eye and say the word convenience. We will hold true these names upon this hallowed ground that we stand. I ask one more thing. When you walk out of this cemetery or any cemetery you go to, you see a veterans marker, could be a Legion, a VFW marker, or on the back of their plaque, back of their stone is a marker. Tells you where they served, when they served. Say their name out loud. That wind that blows that glorious flag that we stand here today under, their name shall never be forgotten. Thank you all. God bless the United States of America. God bless Baldwinsville. Thank you. My daughter.